What is the craziest real estate story you have?
We had it listed for a couple weeks, got an offer, but it was really low, like $300,000, probably under. Calls me about 9 p.m. and says, Blake, I need you to call that offer back that I didn't respond to. And I want to accept it. And I want the buyer to release a 50K. I'll take his price. I'll give it to him for his price.
300,000 below.
Yeah. If he gives me 50K, if he wires 50K that's non-refundable to me on Monday morning, or I'm going to get murdered. Dead serious.
Real estate murder mystery.
Taking over pieces and shares of all big sky high. Check the movement is here, yeah. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go.
Hi, this is Sean Purcell, and welcome to the Compass Studio. Today, I am honored to have Blake Evans here. I get to talk to Blake. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fired up to talk to you.
So is your shirt.
So is my. You know what I learned today? Do you know what this color is? You probably do.
Salmon.
Salmon.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a color.
Yes.
I'm a guy. I know 3 colors.
Well, you now you
Now I can add a 4th one.
exactly.
Salmon. So excited to have you on today. I just learned something pretty interesting to me.
Yes.
In the last half dozen years,
Yes.
you've closed over $100 million worth of production. Is that
have.
accurate?
That is accurate. Yeah, 112 million to be exact.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Thank you.
Most to be other places, right? You just now moved
Yeah.
to
Well,
San
I was
Diego?
the in-house sales manager for a high volume renovation company in San Diego that would basically flip houses. I don't like the word flip. It sounds like a dolphin at SeaWorld, but maybe residential redevelopment. And so I was their in-house sales manager, which allowed me to sell a high volume of listings, giving me a good eye for staging and finishes and really
Right.
how to package up a property and present it to the market.
It makes a difference. That level of experience
Yes.
gives you an eye for what the market is looking to do.
Exactly. And what's important to buyers. So,
Well, before we get too far into real estate, let's find out about you.
Okay.
I brought some questions.
okay.
You grew up here,
I am a San Diego native.
a San Diego native. Do you know how rare that is?
I know. I know.
How did your family end up here?
My dad actually grew up in Borrego Springs, right by the desert. So he went to Julian High School. So he grew up in Southern
So
California.
this goes back. You guys are San Diego natives?
Yes. Well, my mom's side got here, and my dad was a helicopter mechanic for the Navy.
Really?
And so she got here, yeah, in the 60s.
And that's
I
how
want to
they
say.
met. It was a high-flying love affair.
It was a high flying love affair, and they've been married since 1973. I've lost count of how long that is, but
Wow.
over 40 years.
Right?
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great role model.
They still are together and bickering. It's very entertaining.
I love it. So you grew up here, North Park.
North
Am I right?
Park. Yeah.
What was your very first, what you would call a job? What was your very first real job?
I was a real job or my first job.
Okay, now I want to know your first job.
Okay. A movie theater popcorn buttering specialist.
A movie?
I had the skills. You would want to show up at the movie theater and order popcorn from me.
I assume there's a lot of training that goes into becoming
There
a
was.
buttering
It
specialist.
was a very complicated job. And at the end of the night, I had to clean out this like grease compartment. So it was,
Is
down
that
to
the
the
real
nitty-gritty.
title? Popcorn buttering
That's my
specialist?
title. I had it. Yeah, I wore a little name tag and
That's where the creativity comes in. That's why you sell homes.
Blake the buttering specialist.
Blake the buttering specialist. We need to have that. I'm going to ask him to put that on the bottom of the screen now. That's going to be your new nickname.
Please do. Yes.
Okay, what was the first career job you had?
Okay. So that was in 2003. I actually was a preschool teacher in between the movie theater, buttering popcorn. And then I became a preschool teacher. So I actually have my associates in child development. Did that for a few years. So I did actually consider that a career, but was it the career I wanted? No. So if you ask me what what got me going and never looked back into real estate was I was at a title company, North American Title, and I was their marketing representative, and that was when I was 23. So I technically got into the real estate industry in 2003.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I want to go back for a second. Did being a preschool teacher help you in any way
Oh
for
my
being a real
gosh.
estate agent?
Yes. Like I can basically help when, agents are bickering or, someone's pouting or yeah, it definitely gave me the patience and expertise to deal with realtors and clients.
So it's true when you're dealing with things this important, homes, I mean, these are
Yeah,
people's biggest assets. We all quickly revert back to childhood if things aren't
totally.
going our way.
I can like help with tantrums and, do the calm body and the breathing.
A real estate agent tantrum.
Exactly.
Breathe deeply. Let me give you some professionally buttered popcorn. We'll
Exactly.
work our way through this.
Yes.
I love it. And then you went into title.
Yeah. So
Which is very nice.
I became a title representative for California Title in the La Jolla office. So they are and were an affiliate of Prudential, now Berkshire Hathaway, and I was in the La Jolla office. So I do know a lot of La Jolla agents, a lot of the old school ones, because I worked there alongside with another title rep as their exclusive kind of in-house title company.
How did you like being a title rep?
I thought it was fun. I really liked it. I did. Obviously, a lot of things changed just for, I think, all of us in 2007 when the market crashed, but I did like it. It was fun. It was social. I had different, activities I would do, different marketing. I would get to meet with agents. I would get to go to, caravans. And I love the social aspect of sales in general. So,
Before they changed the laws, it looked like it was a lot of creativity.
yes.
You could, and that's a theme that
Oh,
runs
man.
through your
Del Mar
entire life.
Racetrack. Oh, it was fun. Yeah.
I miss some of those days.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're there, you're doing title, you're helping agents, you're socializing.
Yes.
What makes you decide I'm going to go join the fire? I'm going to.
You know what? At the time, which I'm glad I didn't go through with this, but I was thinking about buying a house. And again, this is right before the market crash. So that's why I said I'm glad I didn't. But I was thinking about it, and my dad said, "Why didn't you go to real estate school? Why didn't you get your real estate license?" And I'm like, "Why? I don't know." And he goes, "Well, then at least if you're out looking, you can maybe represent yourself and kind of control a little bit more than you would if you were just a buyer." I said, "I don't know, Dad." And he goes, "I'll pay for it." Okay. Yeah.
Magic
Sure,
words.
Dad. I'll pay for it. So he paid for me to go to real estate school. This was in 2007. And didn't do much that first maybe 6 to 12 months, but then the market crashed. And in 2008, I lost my job at the title company.
Everybody was downsizing.
Yeah, everybody was downsizing, consolidating. And I decided after I got laid off, I thought, why don't I see what the real estate industry has to offer me at this time, which was short sale negotiating. So my first job was a short sale negotiator, helping save families from foreclosure.
So a great job, but talk about out of the frying pan into the fire.
Totally. These agents just piled. They were high volume short sale agents in Scripps Ranch at Remax, and they just piled files, like about 40 files in front of me, and said, "Go through it, find the bank statements, find the hardship letters, and start faxing all this paperwork to the banks for these, homeowners that are about to lose their houses." And so I just dug right in.
But once again, giving you experience that you could pack into a couple of years.
Exactly.
Most people don't get.
Exactly.
That's
So
made the difference, hasn't it?
it has.
You've had
Yeah.
a lot of experience in just.
Yeah, and it helped kind of at that time. If you didn't know how to do short sales, you didn't have any business.
Right.
So you have to pivot in this industry to really figure out where your market is, because it changes all the time. And at that time, it was, do you know how to help homeowners, avoid foreclosure?
Or underwater.
If you don't, you're not going to have a lot of business going on. So
It's always helping, though, isn't it?
yeah,
That's the key word.
yeah,
I know, because and you and I have talked before. That's what I hear come out. It's about helping.
yeah.
So now you're a real estate agent. What's the best part, even up through today? What's the best part about being a real estate agent?
I think buying a home is one of the biggest steps in anyone's life, and it's one of the biggest investments they'll probably ever make. And, having someone trust me with that big of a responsibility, that big of a life change for them, whether it's buying their first home or selling and downsizing, just I'm so grateful that I get to, help them with the biggest stage in their life, and that
Wow.
they trust me. Yeah, I mean, it's
Pretty heady. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
it's a big deal, and I get to meet so many different types of people. That's what I love too. I love diversity. I love different cultures, and I am passionate about real estate because I get to work with so many different types of people.
Isn't that one of the best parts about San
It
Diego?
is. It's so diverse.
Mhm. I agree with you 100%.
I love it.
Okay, what do you like least about being a real estate agent?
Let's see. Do you want my filtered response?
I think
or
this
my...
is a family show, so let's do the
This
filter.
is a family show. I thought I was on Jerry Springer.
No. The gotcha questions come at the end.
Okay. Let's see. It's always been challenging, obviously, the inconsistency of income, right? You're not on a salary.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how much you're going to make from one month to another. So I've had to really work on being disciplined financially. Because you can have a great month and then a not so great month, and you really have to learn how to be smart and, not go out and buy a Gucci purse and a Tesla.
Right.
And have nothing left.
Just had a great closing. Let me go spend.
Exactly. It's a very unpredictable business. So I'd say that's probably one of the hardest things about being in real estate, and probably just. And now that I'm a little more seasoned, it's not as big of an issue for me. But when you're newer and you're trying to prove yourself, and you have to just chase and call and constantly follow your clients around, or they get distracted, and there's a lot of distractions,
Mm-hmm.
and they could use someone else, and you have to constantly stay in front of them. And then again, I think when you're more seasoned, people want to work with you, and they will, you're their go-to. But when you're starting out, the chase, it can be exhausting.
That's one of the hardest parts. Some people just are not cut out
No.
for that type of, I'm not sure when.
And I'm still improving, right? Like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm bugging someone, or I'm, being overly aggressive, but you have to be assertive and intentional, and stay in front of whoever you want to do business with.
Keep showing them your value.
You do.
So for the people watching who are agents, at what point do you go from this fear, really is what we're talking about, is it gone now completely? I don't know about income. It's still there. You still work through it all the time.
Yeah, because when you're growing, there's always going to be fear. And I'm constantly growing, and I want to get so much further than I am now. And that's going to include fear, denial. There's a lot of feelings, all the feelings. Yeah.
What are you working on the most right now? When you say I'm still not where I want to be, is there a single thing that you're focused on?
Yes, for me, and we'll probably get there in my personal life, but I am a twin mom, and one of my daughters is autistic, and so she requires a lot of attention, therapy appointments, and so finding time management and balance for me is extremely important, because I've got to kind of figure out the juggle. And I think, just having specific times where I do specific tasks, like following up with clients, sending emails, getting on the phone and calling, prospecting, setting up my database. And so that for me, because I've sold so much real estate, it's almost the follow-up for me now.
It's
nurturing my sphere.
You have to follow a calendar to make this work, because you have a lot of.
I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to take a look at your calendar sometime. I bet that's interesting.
You'd get a migraine and then want a cocktail and then a
Okay.
cigar.
That's
all the above.
That's at the end of every day anyway.
Exactly.
So.
Perfect.
Who has had, or what has had, the biggest impact on your career?
My parents.
Your parents.
My parents both didn't come from a lot of money. They both, came from very blue collar military houses. And I think I admire them, and they inspire me, because they have built a life for themselves and provided a life for me and my sister, just by being responsible, being smart, going to college, being hard workers. They really just taught me about the good things in life, and they took me traveling, so I learned about the world, and that really just inspired me. And that was, you don't need to have rich parents, or have a silver spoon in your mouth to make a great life for yourself.
When you say they taught you about the good things, I hear what's important in life.
Love, family dinners, unconditional love, I should say. And I think traveling, adventure, they're just great people. Everyone that meets my parents loves my parents.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're great people.
And what did we say? 60 years they're together still.
Yeah, my dad's going to be 77 and my mom is 68. And yeah, and they've been together over 40 years. So
I almost want to ask them this question, but I'm going to ask you. If you could go back to early on in your career and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
I was making great money at a very young age, and I would, I was young, so I probably could have saved a lot more money than I did. Instead, I was doing what 23-year-olds do. I don't think I need to get into details. Had a bunch of great shoes and, Gucci purses in my closet
Purchased
that were
a lot
my
of good
investment.
memories.
Yeah, not much of an ROI there.
Right.
So I would probably have, I wish I would have saved money a little earlier on in life and bought real estate, in my early 20s.
I hear that so often. The two things I hear, I wish I'd bought real estate earlier, and I wish I'd held on to everything I bought.
Yes.
We buy and then we sell.
Yeah. So
Now
maybe having more of a portfolio. Yeah.
Okay. That's good advice for all of us.
Yes.
Let's see. Of all the things you've accomplished, and I think I know where this is going to go, but you've accomplished a lot
Yes.
in a relatively young life.
Yes.
What are you most proud of?
I am most proud of giving birth to my twin girls, and I held them full term. So we didn't have any health issues, and that was my biggest goal, and I think still my biggest win in my life is giving birth to them. And I had them in 2016, and that was my best year as far as production, GCI, and income. Was the year I
you
had
gave
them.
birth to your twins was your best year.
Yeah, in my career,
How is
still
that-
year to date.
How is that even possible?
I have no idea how I did it. I don't. Having twins and kids in general, young kids, is not easy. I just think that it gave me more drive, and I obviously have a great support system. I have a great husband. My family's here. We hired a nanny. But I was just amazed at myself because if you think about it, I only worked probably 9 months out of that year because I was on maternity leave.
So your best year ever, and you had it in 9 months.
Yeah. So I guess it really taught me there's no excuses. You can, if you're
no
really,
excuses.
no excuses. If you're determined and driven and, are organized and can really, just come up with a time management system, you can do anything.
That's got to be one of the things you're passing on to your twin girls.
It is.
There are
They're
no
definitely
excuses.
independent women. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What is the craziest real estate story you have?
Oh, I have a lot of them, but I'd say hands down, one that I will never forget is I had a listing in Point Loma, and I'll try to kind of shorten the story, but also include the, details that matter. The seller basically, we had it listed for a couple weeks, got an offer, but it was really low, like $300,000, probably under what I thought he could sell it for, the seller. He wouldn't respond to it, and about a week later, he calls me late on it was either a Saturday or Sunday night, because I remember it was over the weekend. Calls me about 9 p.m. and says, Blake, I need you to call that offer back that I didn't respond to, and I want to accept it, and I want the buyer to release a $50K. I'll take his price. I'll give it to him for his price.
$300,000 below.
Yeah. If he gives me $50K, if he wires $50K that's non-refundable to me on Monday morning, or I'm going to get murdered. I owe someone money.
Oh my God.
And they are going to murder me.
Or I'm going to get murdered.
They are going to murder me. I'm going to be a dead man if I don't get this $50K on Monday released to me, and I'll sell him the house.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
Real estate murder mystery. The 9 o'clock
we
movie.
closed
That's
the
really what
escrow.
he told you. Your client told you that.
Yeah. I am going to get murdered. I owe someone money.
So no pressure. You're taking care of my biggest asset, but now my life is in your hands.
Exactly. Or I will die. So I ended up kind of getting in touch with the offer, and we opened escrow and we closed it out. And I mean, he did some other crazy stuff. Like when we listed it, he didn't have solar panels on the house when we listed it. And then about 2 weeks in, he has these solar panels. And I said, Greg, where's your paperwork for that? I didn't put those on. So someone just jumped on your roof and put solar panels on? He goes, I didn't sign for those. So just crazy. I mean, the whole thing was.
Okay. So I think that a first name got said, and based on how you're describing things, we're going to bleep that name out.
Perfect. Or you want me to redo it?
No. I just want the
Okay.
name bleeped because I don't want to be associated
get
with
some water, too, while
magical
we're-
solar panels and I owe people money.
It's turned into a true crime podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this client still here? Do you stay in touch, or was it I sold
You
your
want to know
home?
what's really sad?
I don't know. Do I?
He passed away. Yeah, he had some, and so this really actually can lead into the question about, and it wasn't necessarily a good situation, but it was something about a situation that inspired me and kind of opened my eyes to like mental health awareness. And he just had a lot of addictions, and and it's sad that that's where life can take you. And so
He's still with you. In your heart.
he is. And so that's why it's kind of sad that, he passed away a couple years ago. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I really did feel bad for him and the situations that he, put himself in, but it all had to do with, I think, depression, addiction, and
Real
not
problems that we
mental
have.
health is a huge issue,
But you also saved his life.
I did that time.
Not many people can put that on their resume.
I know, exactly. Life-saving real estate.
Okay, so now this is a question sometimes I ask, but now I have to ask. If I asked your friends, what do you do for a living, what would they say? Do they even know the story, first of all, of this particular client?
I don't think a lot of people do.
Okay.
I don't. You know who knows the story really well, and you don't need to. Risha. Risha was the list. It was with me on that list. It was me and her together because we were partners.
She's a great person.
She's a great person.
She'd be
so
here
it,
doing
it
this
was
if she
me
were
and
here.
her, and I'm sure I can almost guarantee that would be her number one bizarre real estate story. So
Right.
so it was me and Risha just trying to guide this client along. So what would my friends say
The
about?
one's not in the industry, because she's in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd have a lot more to say about me than just I am a real estate agent. I think they'd say I'm very independent. I'm a go-getter. I think they would also bring up the fact that I'm mama bear, I'd say. Mama bear comes 1st and my kids come first. So I'm also very, you'll learn that about me. Family is like at the top, and then everything else trickles down from there. That's it.
Everything
Ingrained
you
in
do
my
here
soul.
serves that purpose.
Correct. It's just my family to me that's something that's priceless and precious, and you don't get that time back, So I mean, my friends, I don't know if they'd like say anything I would hope they just wouldn't be like, oh, she sells houses. That's so sad, so boring. So I'd hope they'd have more to say about me than just that.
Maybe we have to ask them.
Yeah, I had a friend actually say, and the number one trait about me was, don't ask Blake a question if you don't want the truth. I love
Okay,
that.
there we go.
She was like, you are the most honest and sometimes brutally honest person, but there's just nothing fake about you.
And that's got to be, in the end, what clients really appreciate
Yes.
is, you may not like this answer, but it's the truth.
But it's the truth.
We're
Yeah,
dealing
I'm
with
very
something this
authentic.
important.
And again, sometimes I piss some people off, right? But I'd rather just be authentic and keep it real than be fake and not really share my honest opinion.
And it's so much easier than having to track all the things you said.
Exactly.
That are
And
in
go,
the
wait,
gray
did
area.
I?
Right.
Yeah.
Did I tell
Did I
them that this
sugarcoat
could
that?
happen?
Or
Right.
yeah. So
So here you are now. What made you choose Compass?
Compass is a tech company. I loved that aspect about it. Compass has an amazing reputation in the real estate industry. I've been doing this long enough to where, hands down, the branding was attractive to me. Because keep in mind, what made me come to Compass and why I'm happy now that I'm here are two different things, right?
Really?
So yeah, because from the outside, it was, oh, I love the branding. I love the reputation they have out in the community. I love the agents that are with Compass.
Right.
There's so many agents I've lost count that inspire me, that are so successful. And I wanted to surround myself with, that success and that reputation. Now, I didn't realize until I was here and onboarding the tools that are available.
Right.
I mean, you basically have your business set up for you on a platform, an all-in-one platform that I have never seen in any other brokerage before. So I would say the technology tools that Compass has developed for agents, it's like a concierge service, a marketing concierge. And so that happened after I came over.
Right. That's interesting. You came over because of the people, really, the
Correct.
agents and the reputation.
The reputation, the branding, just the class out, when you're out and about and you see a flyer or a sign or
Right,
Compass is just
really
chic and it's just clean.
Then you got here and realized my business is going to grow because of the tools. Love the answer.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased, but I love the answer.
Why?
That's my Compass.
Oh,
hat.
yes, you're a little, yes.
I am a little
yes,
biased.
yes, yes.
I work for the brand.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that part of it until coming over.
Is there, and you mentioned a lot of good agents here, is there an agent that you really look up to that you can say, or
I kind of have a realtor crush on Megan Beauvais.
really?
Yes.
She's here in this office.
She is in this office,
Yes.
yes. And we lived in the same neighborhood in Talmadge for a while, and I respected her presence in the neighborhood. I love the fact that she's a mom. Yeah, she always cooks really good food. If you follow her on Facebook, she, posts really good wine and French food, and
Wow.
I really
So she's
admire
kind of
her.
role modeling.
Yeah, and I don't
direction you
think
wanna
she
go.
knows this. So
She will now.
She will. Oh, Megan. It was
Hi,
her birthday
Megan.
2 days ago. Hi, Megan.
She's actually
I'm your
on
secret
vacation
realtor
right
girl
now.
crush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a realtor, at least one that we know of.
Yes. But there's many more.
Yeah,
I mean,
But you've been outed.
Yes. I've come
Well,
out.
Megan's going to do this interview, I think, in a few weeks because
Okay.
she's on a long vacation.
Yes.
So I want to make sure she sees it first,
Okay.
sees you.
And then feels obligated to tell you I'm her number one.
I would tell you that Megan is very much like, or maybe you're very much like her, and you're going to get the truth. whether you like it or not.
That's why I like her.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm sure. Now, especially after asking about Megan, what is a public perception of real estate or real estate agents that you know to be false?
That what we do, hold on, I'll start over. That we make easy money and that what we do is easy. There's just nothing easy about what we do. The guidance and patience and professionalism and, quite frankly, protecting your clients from a legal standpoint and knowing the contract is a huge part of what we do. And that's not easy.
No.
And I don't think people realize that we have a lot of transactions, whether it be buyers or sellers, that don't go through. And we waste, it's not even wasting time. It's just time that we're not guaranteed to get
Right?
compensated
You don't
for.
get paid for it.
So if we make, you may think we make good money on, a couple deals a year. And you may think that's too much money, but it's also making up for all the time
Right.
that we've given for free to clients that it just didn't end up working out.
And I've often thought, and certainly with the experience you've had, you've seen what happens when a deal goes wrong, when an
Yeah.
agent doesn't do their job. We're unfortunately aware of how much damage can really happen to a family, which you then have to carry around like I'm protecting people.
Exactly. And, I have seen in my career, it's sad to say, but, I'd say 50 to 60% of agents I work with don't know how to write an offer and don't know, they're not protecting their clients, in the offers they're writing. And I just think that's, it's unfortunate that, and I think that's why the 40% that are out in the market, doing high volume and have a good reputation, we have this, I've said, yeah.
You get
know
all
what I'm
lumped
saying.
in together.
Totally.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to bring up too, one of the false statements I've heard is that there's not going to be a need for realtors in the future. I mean, that's just bullshit. Like, so you mean to tell me that you think buyers and sellers can just, negotiate and
together.
be open with each other and get together and be honest and know how to write it down to protect each side of the transaction? You mean to tell me that you think that's going to be a possibility
With
someday?
the biggest investment probably of their lives.
Exactly. Like, it's
I agree with you,
just,
obviously.
it's just the biggest lie that I think I've ever heard. And maybe things will change and it'll be more of an online business. But I still think there is going to be a need for real estate agents, whether buying or good real estate agents, to guide buyers and sellers. There's so many emotions in real estate. We protect each side, and we're the middleman. That's never going to go away. The emotions and
the level of trust.
Exactly.
It's funny, as you're saying this, I keep going back to the level of trust that includes save my life for me.
Exactly.
It comes to that.
Or they don't, so many clients don't, buyers especially, they don't know what inspections they need. They don't know that there's a sewer line underneath the house that we need to put a camera in to make sure it's not a $20,000 repair that they're walking into. They have no idea. Who else would tell them that?
That's why you hire.
Exactly.
Right.
So
we should put you on the National Association of Realtors ad so they could.
Right. And I say that down here, it's like in my soul. Like I genuinely feel that way.
Okay. So speaking of souls, what's your why? What's your mission statement? A better word. This is why I do what I do. Jeez, you caught me off guard. Hold on. I know. And I don't have it memorized, so we'll have to redo this. You're going to cut and like paste and. We're not cutting this.
Hold on. I want to. Okay.
It should be written down, by the way, right? Our mission statement should be written down.
I know, Sean. You get on me because I haven't come up with one yet. But I do have why my clients love working with me. I answered that part of it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to rephrase it and then.
Tell me, why do your clients love working with you?
My clients love working with me because I'm honest, like I mentioned, and I may be a little too honest, but I think that most clients.
That really is.
It's a thing. Most clients appreciate that. I also treat, my clients aren't just another number. They're humans. They have a story. They have, things that they share with me that they may not tell, even some of their good friends, because selling a house or for someone or helping them buy a house, there's just so many emotions. And so I walk through them with it and experience all those emotions with them. And I think that that's why they love working with me.
A lot of hats. You wear a lot of
and I treat them like they're my only client, even though I have multiple clients. I hope that they never feel like I'm too busy for them.
You make them feel like they are the client.
Exactly.
Well, again, not surprising given how many people you help, but what's surprising is that you're able to do it with the number of people you help.
Exactly.
And make each of them feel that.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a coach, by the way?
No, I have a therapist. I really need a coach.
Well, you kind of are a therapist in real estate, so it figures you have a therapist to go and unload with.
Exactly. So I do have an unloading therapist, but I do definitely need a business coach.
Good.
I will openly admit that.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone to hold me accountable and just kind of help me organize my priorities and maybe help me come up with a mission statement. Do you want to be my business coach, Sean?
Look, we're doing business right here in the interview. Yes, we'll talk off camera about that. I am a big believer, obviously.
I know you are.
I have a coach, but it's just like you said, it's someone to hold me accountable, right?
Yeah.
We need that, especially with your calendar and the things pulling you in every direction, to make sure we're always staying on priority, what actually matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if you could have a billboard with anything written on it, what would it say? And remember, this is a family show.
Okay.
So, okay.
You don't get Nordstrom service on a Walmart budget. If you want Nordstrom service, call Blake. Your wallet may be angry at first, but will thank you later.
I love it. Is that on a billboard somewhere right now?
It will be when I'm on one.
That should be on a billboard.
Yeah.
Your wallet may be angry at first,
but we'll thank you later.
That's good. Other than doing that billboard, which I really think you should do, if you knew you weren't going to fail, what project would you take on next?
I would train for the Boston Full Marathon.
Really?
Yes.
Where does that come from?
I'm a runner. I've ran 3 half marathons, never done a full marathon. And one of my goals is to run a full marathon, and Boston in particular is an extremely hard marathon to get into. You have to qualify. You have to, run a certain amount of time per miles for your age tier, whatever you end up in, and it's extremely, extremely difficult to get in. So why I answer that question that way is I think I would probably fail if I knew I could not fail.
That's what you would try.
Yeah, I would try to train and do that.
Do you have any plans to actually train for that and go after it?
I don't, because no one's told me that I'm not going to fail.
You need that magic power first.
I don't want to fail. I need my life to clear up a little bit before I can train.
Right.
I mean, I trained for a half marathon after I had my twins, and it's very time consuming and takes a lot of, just time out of your day and training. So.
I should have said, so Blake, in all your free time, what are you doing to train?
Yeah, exactly.
What else? I love this question. If you could have dinner with 3 people, living or dead,
okay,
who would it be and why?
Okay, so I chose 2 dead people and 1 living person. I would have dinner with a really good friend that I grew up with named Lucy, who passed away of a heart problem in her early 30s. And she was just one of my best friends, and I miss laughing with her. So I would want to have dinner with her and catch up and tell her about my twins, and so she could make me laugh. And then number 2 would be my grandma Betty, because she passed away about 8 years ago. So she never got to meet my twin girls, and I miss her and love her. And that's who else I would want to have dinner with. And I would also want to have dinner with the living Will Ferrell, because he's just hilarious.
Will Ferrell.
I love to laugh. I just feel like laughing is healthy. Life is too short just to be serious.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm all about inspiration and hearing success stories, but I feel like laughing is just one of the biggest cures to just everything we deal with in life. And he makes you laugh. Oh, he's so funny.
You know what's interesting? You know who our next interview is going to be?
Who?
Will Ferrell.
Is he?
He's here, yeah.
What? Where? When?
He's one after you. He's waiting.
Perfect.
Right now.
Let's get some cocktails out.
Wouldn't that be great if it were true?
Oh, man.
Will, if you're watching this, ring me up. Let's get you on.
Let's make some reservations.
That's right. Okay. In a minute, I'm going to get to the 10 questions that I stole pretty much from inside the Actors Studio. I love, but I have one last question for you as a coach.
Okay.
I often tell people the most important words in the world are whatever words follow I am.
Okay.
So I want you to finish that statement. I am
here to make a positive impact on others. I am here to embrace change, and I am here to remain authentic to everyone that I meet.
Well, that part we see right now. I mean, right?
Yes.
You're very authentic.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so these are the idea for those who haven't seen the show. There's 10 questions asked of every single guest. You ready?
Hold on.
Oh, too bad we couldn't have one of those water takes with the. Okay, the 10 famous questions edited for our show.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
Grit.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite word?
Bragging. Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
The ocean.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Like when someone's smacking their lips when they're eating. I can't do it.
Okay. We're doing it off camera right now. Okay. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
It would be to help my daughter successfully deal with her autism, and probably even find a cure for autism if I could.
That would be a superpower.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
How do you cure a hangover?
Keep drinking.
Get power through it.
Listen, you got to numb it somehow.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's the medically correct answer, but it's a good answer.
It's my correct answer.
That's right. It's the Irish answer. All right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
This is what I would like to attempt and what I will be doing. I want to become a yoga instructor, and I want to teach special needs kiddos yoga classes.
Wow.
Because I've seen what it can do for just your mind and body, and the relaxation it can create. So,
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
I would not like to clean porta potties for a living. Sounds like a shitty job.
Ba-dum-bum. Where is your favorite spot in San Diego?
Wind and Sea Beach in La Jolla.
Okay. Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hi, Blake. Here's a glass of wine, and everyone is waiting that left you behind on earth.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think this was fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Evans.
Thank you, Sean.
Working on the plot and the scheme. The true style trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A bomb big sky high. Check the movement is here.